actually already in our first habitat here. As you may have saw the roller coaster go by, so we're gonna stop real quick to make sure another one's not gonna kick us. Yeah, we don't want shoes to fall off or anything. If money were to fall, I got dibs, guys. Okay. Now, we're good, Blake. The first habitat we're in is an animal known as the Nyala. They are an antelope species. They will be all over. They're expert at hiding, so please keep your eyes open, banana eyes, right? Keep it peeled. And you'll see them all over. Now they're not very strong and they're not very fast, so they rely on hiding. And I actually see some coming up on the right-hand side, the passenger side of the truck. You see some babies lying against the fence there, little cuties. There are 5 babies out here, a little older than a month old at this point. So what they're doing is, 1, they like the shade since it's getting warmer out, but 2, they're trying to blend in with the tall grass behind them. We see that those white stripes on their body, that's known as color disruption. It does 2 things for them. It's a form of camouflage, so helps them blend into the tall grass, those straight lines in the grass, but also it helps break up the shape of a silhouette. If a predator were to look at them, it doesn't make them look like food then. So it really helps them survive out here. They also have like this brownish red coat. We have more on the driver's side of the truck. That brownish red is almost invisible during twilight hours when the sun is setting and rising, which when predators are going to be hunting, it makes them harvest. Very useful for them. Now guys, keep holding on, okay? We're good.
Oh, they're right there too.
Alright guys, welcome to the South Belt. Out here we're going to see mostly animals from southern Africa. We do see way out there some giraffes. That's going to be the second half of our tour. We just want to tease you right now.
Selena's Captain
Build up that anticipation. Now these bigger animals on either side of the truck, these are known as the common eland. They're the largest antelope species on the planet. Really cool how big they are. They're very docile. They can be domesticated. But since they're so big, they're so strong, they can actually jump over 9 feet from standing still. So they don't need a running start, which is pretty wild. The ones we have out here are all females. So when you see females with horns, 9 times out of 10, both sexes are going to have horns. And that's going to suggest it's more for defensive purposes and less for offensive purposes or dominance. You guys can move around too if you want. Now, oh yeah, that's definitely go on that one too. That's another fun ride. I recommend it. Yeah, it's good. They give you a good thrill. An iron glass.
All right, ready.
So guys, over here under these palm trees, we have these white animals with the really cool twirly horns. They're known as the Adax. They're the most endangered species on our tour. Might be the most endangered you'll see in your life. As of 2016, they did a survey to see how many were left in the wild. Less than 100. So they're known as critically endangered. What that means is they're being poached a lot, essentially. They don't really have any main predators. So if they're sitting in the road while we're driving by, they never move for us. They're very stubborn in that way, which is probably why they're so easily hunted. And we can't repopulate from conservations like in Texas where they have over 1,000 because the threat's still out there. They're still being hunted. So unfortunately, they're probably just being phased out of the wild at this point. But really interesting to see. They are from the Sahara Desert where they have certain adaptations to survive out there, which is why they're going to be white. Helps them keep cool in the hot summer months, right? And then they actually grow a brown fur in the colder months to help keep warmth in and absorb warmth from the sun. So it's something called thermoregulation, where they just grow that fur or lose the fur depending on the time of year. Now, I did get my signal, so everyone hold on for me. We're going to start moving, okay? We're good. Now, since they're from the Sahara Desert, they actually have a lot wider feet than most other antelope species, and that's pretty much like a snowshoe, if you think about it, so they're not sinking in the sand. Where a lot of antelope have really thin feet to help them like grip onto rock crevices and stuff. So it's interesting to see. If we get a closer look, take a look at their feet, you'll see they're a little larger than what you're used to seeing for antelope. We're good. Now Guys, on the driver's side of the truck, we might see our black rhino Jody. I don't know if she's out right now. She's our oldest animal on our safari, so because of that, she likes to hang out in her cave in office here. She's got a lot of paperwork to do, being a senior advisor out here. So we will pass through here again. Hopefully she'll be out, but most of the time she's hiding in there. She is 33 years old, and she is a great grandmother. Oh, we got some rhinos right here. So everyone hold on. Blake might have to go off-road a bit, so just keep holding on when we figure out what he's gonna do. We're good, Blake. Now, directly in front of us, these rhinos are known as the white rhinos. And when you're looking at them, what do you notice about the white rhinos?
They're big.
They're not white, they are big, yes. So they're known as the white rhinos because of a mistranslation, at least that's a theory. A mistranslation of a word white, which means white, but over time, white sounds like white, so there's some confusion there. Another theory is, since we have a black rhino, we might as well have a white one, right? So that's some of the theories. Now, I do want to talk about them since they're so close. If you guys want to get closer, feel free, get back there, get a good look. Now, right now we're looking at 5 rhinos. We do have 1 male and 4 females. So Lucky Tombo here, I believe he's the one who's staring directly into our souls. He is the only male out here. Now, since he's been here for, I think 16 years, something like that, he's had 16 kids, or 10 kids. I'm making up numbers, guys. 10 kids. So he's doing pretty good. He is our smallest rhino, so because of that, if he were in the wild, he'd probably have no kids because of how small he is. Which on average, male rhinos are going to have about 5 calves, so he's already doubled that. Since he's so small, you guys might be wondering, how's he so successful here? Well, he's the ladies' only option. So because of that, the 4 ladies, they have their choice of Tombo and Tombo only. Now, since we're looking so close at them, you see their horn there. They all have different shapes, horns, different lengths and stuff. That's not because we come out here and shave it with a giant cheese grate or anything. It's their preference completely. What they'll do is they'll go up to trees and rocks to shape it the way they want. It does grow throughout their entire lives, so it's something they need to upkeep pretty constantly. Anyone know what a rhino's horn is made of? It's like keratin. Keratin, yeah, the same thing our hair and our fingernails are made with. Yeah, what was that?
It constantly grows?
Yeah, constantly grows their whole life. They actually have a cuticle, and it grows from their face.
Does the back one as well, or just the
Yep,
front one?
yeah, no, they both grow. The back one, that second one is usually smaller, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't grow as fast. But yeah, so Tombo here, he just likes a short, stubby horn, where if it's kind of hard to see the other ones right now, but if we get a closer look, you'll see the other ones are pretty much significantly longer. You see that one there?
Yeah.
Nice and pointy? That is completely up to them. So guys, keep holding on. Okay, we're gonna get moving, but take note of the trees. We're gonna pass on the driver or on the passenger side of the truck, how smooth it is on the bottom. That's where they're rubbing their nose. So we're good. Now on top of the hill, the opposite direction I just told you to look, we have what's known as the wildebeest. Anyone know what the wildebeest are known for?
Lion King.
Killing Mufasa? No. That was Scar's fault, guys.
Spoilers.
Yes, I'm sorry, yeah, spoilers. Sorry, guys. These guys are known for the Great Migration, which is Earth's largest migration of animals looking for food and water. It happens about 10 months out of the year, so it's pretty much year-round. It's so large it can be seen from space. More specifically, their dust clouds. Which is pretty wild. It's about 3 million animals strong, where the wildebeest here make up about 2 million of those animals. So they're the prime force of that. We see any zebras out here? I think I did on the other side there. They're behind me. I didn't see. I was making up. So the zebras over here are best friends with those guys. They actually lead the Great Migration, but only about 500,000 strong. Now they like to lead the migration because they're mean and they'll fight off predators, and they like to follow it that way. But really, the wildebeest are the ones that can like sniff out where the water is and where the food is. The what? Yeah, essentially. Yeah, they're very similar in actually like that, protective. Yep. So they actually will communicate through kicks and bites. Now behind me, these guys with the cool horns staring at us right now, these are known as the sable antelope. One of the bravest antelope species there is. And that's because most are very skittish, going to want to run away. Those guys hold their ground. What they do, they'll get down on their ankles and dip their head forward so those horns are pointed forward. If a predator were running at them, right as that lion or other big cat, whatever, is going to jump at them, they're going to pull their horns up, impaling them in their stomach, throwing them to the side. They actually got them the name the Lion Killers because of that. They're very successful at defending themselves. Again, the sable antelope, very brave of all the antelope species. Now we get a close-up of these zebras here. Now these are known as the common zebra, the most common of all zebras, as their name suggests. They're also known as plain zebra. These guys are probably my favorite animal out here at this point because of how many things they've got going on about them. Their stripes here. Anyone know why zebras have stripes, how it helps them out? Yeah, camouflage. Camouflage to what? Everything out here is green, right? What are they going to blend into? Trees, okay. Any other guesses?
Other zebras.
Other zebras, yeah. So I'm not paying her. They blend into other zebras. So we've all seen like pictures online of those images that look like they're moving because of all the lines when really it's not. Those stripes help them in that way. When all the zebras are together, it's confusing to look at for predators. So they won't know which one's the strong one, which one's the weak one, how many there are, if the whole herd's one animal or not, which kind of dazzles the zebras, which is why a herd of zebras is known as a dazzle. Now, before we get moving, one of my favorite facts about these guys, you notice their stripes are vertical on the front half and horizontal on the back half. There's a benefit to that. Anyone want to take a guess?
I can't tell what the head is.
Slimming. So that is part of it. So hold on and I'll talk about it, okay, as we get moving. We're good. So just like in fashion, thin vertical stripes make you look thin, wide horizontal stripes make you look wide. That's what they want. They want their butts to look big. Now it's not for a music video or anything. It actually has, it helps with their defense. So if a predator is going to come, they're going to want to grab onto the meatiest part of the zebra, so they don't want to be attacked in the face. So they make it look like their face is very thin. We got some greater kudu over here. But essentially it pulls the zebras to be attacked from the back end where they can kick any predators. So it draws predators away from the good stuff like their face and their stomach where those thin lines are and towards the bigger lines where they think you can get a better grab. Yeah, it is really cool. It's like, especially if you look at them from afar, you really notice their butts more than you do the rest of their body. It's like holding a magnifying glass up to that back half. It's to make it look bigger. It's really cool. Yeah, it's weird because I've never noticed that, but it's very obvious now. Like they're horizontal in one half and vertical in the other.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, what do we? Oh, the rhinos. I guess we're going around. Is she? I can't even see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
a little
I see.
bit.
All right, guys, so we're going to go around everything we just did. So just keep holding on, okay? Blake's going to have to back up and do a 3-point turn and call the supervisors and all that fun stuff. So keep holding on while we're moving, okay? I want to talk about across from the rhinos, these antelope walking away from us. We see they have a really nice white ring on their buns there. They're known as the Ellipsan waterbuck. Now, as their name suggests, where do you think they like to live, guys?
Desert.
In the desert, good guess. The Ellipsan waterbuck.
Around water.
Around water, yes. They have we're good. They have a benefit to living near water other than they have water. It's going to be their main defense. They can swim really well. Think about cats don't like swimming anyway, but if they're being chased, swimming is a good defense. Where they have an oil on their fur that allows them to move quickly through the water without absorbing.
Yeah.
Is that an ostrich? It is. There's an ostrich egg there. Woo, that's so cool. I've never actually seen one. Yeah, I've never seen like a fresh one like that. That's awesome. So our zookeepers will grab it unless the birds grab it before we do. Now, Most birds, like a Florida, won't be able to peck through that because it's a very dense shell. Our ostriches are getting older though, so the shells aren't as tough as they used to be. We don't have males out here anyway, so it's not like they're gonna hatch or anything. Yeah, exactly. They'll just lay eggs. Yeah, and it's actually, we're getting to that time of year. Usually, ostriches will lay eggs between, I think it's like June and July, about every other day from what I've looked at. It's a weird schedule there. But that's super cool to see. So one of the zookeepers will grab it. If not, some of the birds will or something, which is really cool observation. Good eye there. Now, if you guys notice, some of the trees, they have fences on it. I was already talking about the ones the rhinos will rub up on. Well, we have fences on some of these trees because the animals are going to eat the bark, which would kill the tree. Those trees use their bark to send nutrients to the rest of the tree, where the trees out here that don't have fences, like the palm trees, they send their nutrients to the core, so they don't really need their bark. So it's a nice little treat for any of the animals out here. Oh, look down. So guys, it's kind of hard to see in the shade there. Right where that ostrich egg was, we did see those smaller animals, those Grant's gazelles. They're actually the largest of all gazelle species, shockingly enough, how small they are. Another antelope species, but gazelle, I guess, being a subspecies. They partake in that great migration, but since they're so efficient at digesting food, they don't need to be around water as often. So they'll go the opposite direction of that great migration to help stay away from predators where they're going to follow that larger herd. Now look, get a look at their horns. You see how different they are? That's actually how we can tell the difference between who's who. So the one who's looking away from us, I believe that's Lucy. Lucy is our largest rhino. She weighs 4,500 pounds. And they can weigh up to 6,000 pounds. They are the largest rhino species on the planet. We're good. Baby 2 got back. Let's see if Jody's out. Is Jody out? No, Jody is a black rhino. She only weighs about 2,000 pounds, so if you were to see her, you'd notice she's a lot smaller looking. She has her own habitat here, not because she's on timeout or anything. She doesn't want to be around other animals. She's a solitary animal and territorial, and when it comes down to the food that she eats, she doesn't want to share, which I kind of don't blame her, the way things are so expensive these days. Keep holding on, guys. We're good. I would assume not, from the name. There's actually 5. I don't know all of them. There's white, there's black.
Indian, greater one-horn, Sumatran.
Yeah, so the greater one-horn is there.
I just don't know a lot about them. It's no big deal.
Now guys, we're getting a closer look at those ADACs, that really endangered animal coming up on the passenger side. And we, yeah, look at those horns, right? Super cool. Now we do see that ostrich there. This is one of the rarest ostriches you'll ever see. So it looks like she's sitting down, but she actually doesn't have legs. And she'll move around by pulling herself with her neck, like now also about her, she is one of our feathered giraffes. She was raised with giraffes, and now she thinks she's I should note that I'm just kidding. She does have legs. She's just kidding. But since she has a long neck and long legs, she kind of blends in really well with those giraffes. So they accept her really well. Now guys, as we're going into our giraffe interaction, I have a couple rules for that interaction. You'll notice Blake is going to find a good spot to park. He's not going to park directly in front of any. That's to give them the choice to come to us, and then we'll reward their good behavior. But we don't want to touch or pet the giraffes, okay? Very important. We're like an ice cream truck to them, right? We're in their neighborhood, And think about, you got an ice cream truck in your neighborhood, and you're excited, you're getting your ice cream, and then the ice cream man's petting you. You wouldn't like it. And it's gonna be the same thing. The ostrich don't like to be touched.
The
So
ostrich?
please, the giraffe. I'm sure ostriches don't like either.